In the beginning scene, we see a teenage boy, Chongqing, played by Xuchuan Liu, chasing an old man. Chongqing eventually catches up with the old man and starts to hit him right in front of some police officers. The officers pull the Chongqing off the old man. Officers cannot understand what the boy is trying to tell them, so they take him to the police station. The officers realize Chongqing is deaf and they aren't able to communicate with him. A teacher, Mr. Wang, played by Quanting Liu, from his new school for the hearing-impaired shows up to the station and helps Chongqing communicate. Chongqing accuses the old man of stealing his wallet on the train, but the officers claim that the old man found the wallet and it was all a misunderstanding. Mr. Wang translates for Chongqing, but tells the officers that Chongqing is sorry for hitting the old man to get him out of trouble. Chongqing asks Mr. Wang if he believes him, and Mr. Wang responds that he tends to believe those who are deaf. Mr. Wang takes Chongqing to his new school, where all the kids are playing and having fun together. Mr. Wang invites Chongqing to a school dance that night. Chongqing does not know anyone at school, so stands alone, but eventually, he is pulled into the crowd to dance and starts to enjoy himself. The next day, Chongqing is on the bus heading to school where he notices his classmate Bei Bei, played by Buffy Chen. He watches her talk and laugh with her friends, then sees that she is very interested in actors on stage. In the classroom, Chongqing continues to notice Bei Bei. He sees she is acting strange, so he throws some paper at her and asks what she is doing. She tells him she is holding her breath and continues to do so. That night, Chongqing gets out of bed to find some Wi-Fi, but he notices some lights flashing in the bathroom. He slowly walks over to check, but then notices Bei Bei flashing a light at him from down below. She tells him to come out and takes him to the school swimming pool. Chongqing asks about the flashing lights in the bathroom, and Bei Bei responds that they are just playing. She is wearing a bathing suit under her shirt, and she jumps into the pool to avoid answering any more questions. Bei Bei wants to learn how to swim. The next day on the bus, Chongqing is very content with his new life. He looks over to Bei Bei and sees that she is not in her seat. He looks for her and notices that there are sweaters hung up as a divider. He heads to the back to find a group of boys holding Bei Bei down and raping her. The leader of the group, Xiao Guan, played by Kim Hyun-bin, motioned to Chongqing to keep it a secret. The group continues to rape Bei Bei as she cries. They throw a sweater over her head. Chongqing watches in horror and eventually runs away from them. The bus chaperone notices what is going on, but stays silent. That night, his mom asks if Chongqing has made any new friends and if he likes his new school. Chongqing just nods his head. The next day at school, Chongqing watches as Bei Bei plays soccer with the same group of boys that raped her. At night, Chongqing is pulled out of his bed by the group of boys and dragged to the bathroom. Xiao Guan tells Chongqing that they should play together. The group of boys try to force Chongqing into the bathroom, but the alarm goes off and the boys scatter. Chongqing goes to the swimming pool with Bei Bei, where he asks her if she was the one to set off the alarm, why does she still play with those boys, and why hasn't she told the teachers? Bei Bei tells Chongqing that he should stay silent or else they will bully him too. Bei Bei says the boys are nice to her most of the time, but she doesn't like it when they bully and rape her. She claims they are just playing though. Bei Bei tells Chongqing everything is fine and that he should just bully her with them, so he won't be alone. The next day, Chongqing tells Mr. Wang what happened, then pulls Bei Bei off the bus and brings her to Mr. Wang. Bei Bei won't admit what happened at first, because she doesn't want to betray them. Bei Bei eventually is able to tell Mr. Wang the truth. She tells him that when they bully her, she screams for help and tells them to stop, but they just continue to do it. Flashback to the past, we see Bei Bei very happy on the bus. Everyone is having fun and playing together. A classmate sits down next to her and they continue playing, but the boy begins to get aggressive and Bei Bei tries to push him away. But he gets even more aggressive and begins to sexually assault her. Another female student tries to help her, but the boys push her away. She goes to the teacher at the front of the bus to get help, but the teacher just waves her away. The boy rapes Bebe. She writes down what happened and tells her female teacher. The teacher gaslights her and claims that they boys are good kids and they would never hurt her if they knew she didn't like what they were doing. Bebe looks defeated. Back to the present, Mr. Wang confronts the principal about the situation, but the principal tries to gaslight Mr. Wang into staying silent. Mr. Wang says he is not the other teachers and he will not stay silent. In the following days, the principal and Mr. Wang interview all the students and find out that everyone has been a victim of rape, sexual assault, bullying, and more. All the students say that they are forced to bully/assault/rape others by Xiaoguang. During Xiaoguang's interview, they ask why he is doing it and he says he is just playing. Xiaoguang's parents are called in and he is scolded by them. Xiaoguang gets revenge by having a group of boys beat up Chongqing. Bei's grandpa makes her stay home from school. Chongqing meets up with Bei to watch a movie. The theater double-booked their seats, so the pair leaves when a couple claims their seats and makes a scene. On their way home, the pair sees a man being beaten in an alley. Bei tells Chongqing she wants to go back to school because she said she cannot survive in the outside world. Chongqing asks Mr. Wang to help convince Bei's grandpa to allow her back to school, but her grandpa does not budge. The next day Chongqing tries to communicate with her grandpa through text on his phone, but he won't look. Chongqing loses his hearing aid when grandpa pushes him away, and since he cannot hear, Chongqing almost was hit by a shop owner's cart. The shop owner gets angry and yells at Chongqing. The grandpa pities Chongqing and helps him by apologizing and paying for the damage. The grandpa listens to Chongqing's explanation and allows Bei back to school when Chongqing says he will protect her. Bei is driven home by Mr. Wang, but when the car leaves, Chongqing is grabbed by a group of boys. Xiaoguang tells Chongqing that Bao Di, played by Fan Ryu Xiu, wants to play with him. Xiaoguang tells Chongqing to perform oral on Bao Di, who is gagged and restrained by the group of boys. If Chongqing does this, then they won't bully Bei anymore. Chongqing does what he is told to a resisting Bao Di, which is rape, while one of the boys films it on his phone. The next day, at a school ceremony, Xiaoguang seems disturbed by what is on his phone. He runs out to the field where he is clearly emotional. Chongqing brings lunch for him and Bei, but she is not where they were supposed to meet. She ends up being in the bathroom. She was raped again by Xiaoguang. She tells Mr. Wang she wants to stay at school and that what happened is nothing. She doesn't want her grandparents to blame Mr. Wang and that she'll be more careful. Mr. Wang is very upset and walks away. Chongqing finds Xiaoguang and beats him up. Xiaoguang ends up in the hospital because he cut him wrists. His mother is outside his hospital room and tells Mr. Wang that her son is stressed with studies and that he didn't do the things he was accused of. Mr. Wang tries to ask Xiaoguang what happened, but Xiaoguang will not open up. He continues to say they were just playing. Meanwhile, the video of Chongqing and Bao Di is shown to his mom, who tells him to transfer schools at home. Chongqing refuses, and his mom continues to blame him. Bei sees the video from the window and confronts Bao Di about what happened. Bao Di is clearly upset and says Chongqing assaulted him and refuses to go with Bei to explain to the teacher. Bao Di tells Bei that Chongqing did it to make them stop bullying Bei. Bei goes to a doctor to have a surgery. Chongqing and Mr. Wang look for Bei to stop her, but Chongqing gets hit by a motorcycle and faints. Xiaoguang is still in the hospital, where he is visited by someone. Chongqing goes on a rampage and he runs to Xiaoguang's hospital room with a hammer, only to find Xiaoguang on the floor cutting his wrists again. The next day, two boys show Chongqing a video from the school security camera showing that a teacher, Mr. Wang, was raping and assaulting Xiao Guang since he was a child. Chongqing shows the video to Mr. Wang, who confronts the principal. The principal knew all along and continues to try and gaslight Mr. Wang. Mr. Wang talks to Xiao Guang about this, who reveals that he wants to hate Mr. Wang, but he can't. When Mr. Wang visited Xiao Guang in the hospital, Xiao Guang actually touched Mr. Wang. Xiao Guang does not think he deserves to live. The story of the school is published in the newspaper and the principal gets fired. The kids are on the bus again and it seems fun and light-hearted again. But in the back of the bus, Bao Di is glaring at Chongqing, having fun with classmates. He has a sweater over his lap, and he gets up and sees his classmate asleep. He may be the next Xiao Guang.